Hello, great people. Welcome back to our channel. The issue of insecurity is biting hard, such that the Northerners are even asking the president to return them to the time of the former president, that they want that level of insecurity. And it's really serious. You get to hear what they have to say. And also in another news, a lot of reactions have come up against the governor of Katsina State, talking about Masari, who had advised the people to defend themselves now that the power and the capacity of the military is limited in the fight against insecurity. You get to hear what the northern elders have to tell him about that advice he had dished out to Nigerians. But before we go into all of that, we'd like to encourage you to please subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button and also the bell icon so that you get notification anytime we publish our video. The coalition of northern groups, CNG, has lamented the alarming rate of killing, kidnapping, and general insecurity across the country. CNG Director of Strategic Communication, Ishmael Musa, said President Muhammadu Buhari should return Nigeria back to the era of ex-President Goodluck Jonathan, where the country experienced minimal level of insecurity. Musa made the call while featuring on a lunchtime discourse on Vanguard Live on Wednesday. He berated the president over his handling of insecurity in the country. According to Musa, and I quote, he said, "What we are begging them for now is, human life is very important. In fact, it's very key. If you can do something, in fact, if you can take us back to the insecurity you made on board, that will be tolerable to a large extent to say, well, he has taken us back to Jonathan's standard we are crying for. I mean, the killing at that time, the statistics are there to show for themselves. So, really, as far as I am concerned, it's unfortunate we have this kind of people ruling us by this time. Insecurity has been on a steady rise under Buhari government, with kidnapping, banditry becoming a norm. Some states in the northern part of the country have witnessed more activities of banditry. Meanwhile, in another development, the Northern Elders Forum, NEF, has reacted to the call by Governor Aminu Masari of Katsina State, asking citizens to get weapons to defend themselves and family members from bandit attack. It has been reported that Masari has urged residents to rise and defend themselves against insecurity as security operative appears limited. Masari argued that it is surprising for bandits and criminals to possess weapons while law-abiding citizens find it difficult to get it for self-defense. He therefore promised that his government will assist residents to get approved equipment for self-defense and ensure such equipment are registered with the police to avoid abuse. The governor made the submission on Tuesday during a media parley with journalists at the government house in Katsina. Reacting to the governor's statement, the Northern Elders Forum spokesperson, Dr. Hakeem Baba Ahmed, condemned the governor's idea, saying that Masari shouldn't have made those statements. Baba Ahmed has stated that the use of assorted equipment by ordinary citizens in Nigeria was still banned in the country and against the law. The Northern Elders Forum spokesperson, however, asked Masari to lead people who elected him on how and where to acquire, train, and use those equipment. According to him, he said, if indeed the governor has said this as reported, we should expect him to lead people who elected him with advice on how and where to acquire, train, and use these equipment that are currently banned to the public by the law. This crisis of insecurity is taking many casualties, one of the most important being village heads. There is a growing vacuum in thinking and leadership that makes for stories such as these to sound almost credible. Is it really the case that President Buhari cannot sit with governors and managers of our national security and discuss all the roots, dimensions, and solutions to this problem without the temptation to prescribe do-it-yourself solution? Those were the words that Hakeem had to say. But, right now, if we want to talk about the issue of insecurity in Nigeria, you will know that just like Masari has rightly said, it seems as if the military is limited. But then, if you also take a look at how these people were treated from the beginning, you now realize that it is not even the government, or it's not even the people that you should direct such thing to. You should be talking to the government, because the government had seen the beginning of this insecurity. Nigerians were crying out about it. The influx of people, to a point I could still remember that there came a time that even the military had to give an intelligence that there is influx of people from different countries in the Sahara Sahel into Nigeria. And these people should be checked. But unfortunately, nobody did anything about it. The insecurity started, and it was very low-key at the beginning. The people cry out. Nobody did anything. Today, it is already uncontrollable. Yes, we've heard promises from the presidency that the 17 months left for President Muhammadu Buhari to stay as the president of Nigeria is going to solve the problem. But if he had, how many years? 7 years, or let me say 6 years, he couldn't do anything to solve it. Is it now, where we are faced with so many issues? Economic crisis is there. We are borrowing every now and then. There is no peace in the country. And this issue of insecurity we're talking about is multifaceted today as we are talking to you. We have different classes of insecurity. Now, we know that the Boko boys and Boko Haram, those ones are there. We know of the ISWAP. Those ones are also another sect. We also know of the bandits. That one is ravaging the country almost on a daily basis. There is no way you can go through the media any single day and you don't see the activities of these people. Now, those ones are also somewhere. We also talk about the kidnapper. Then the mini, small thieving here and there. Then the UGM. I mean, it's going to be really difficult to handle this issue. I think that was why Masari had to go that extra mile to make that suggestion. But the question is, making that suggestion, would it help anything? If it will help anything, why is it that the president, Masari himself, why isn't that he's not the one leading the whole thing? Let it show us that you have gotten it, and tell Nigerians where you got it, and also tell them also that the law protects them, and they will go get it. But guess what? That is not the kind of environment we are looking for. We are looking at a democratic regime where they own up to the responsibility of protecting lives and properties of the people. So you don't even look at the pathway of the people. Look at the security. They are the ones that ought to equip themselves more and more, employ more hands, and ensure that they visit the nooks and crannies of these places without any prejudice and deal with these people. And secondly, the president should look at the root causes of all of this, because before this thing to escalate to this level, it therefore means, number one, maybe the states and even the boundaries of Nigeria is very porous. People are assessing it just anyhow. If that is corrected, and then the issue of poverty is dealt with, unemployment is dealt with, education is dealt with decisively, I can tell you, even if we cannot totally exterminate the issue of insecurity, it will be reduced to the barest minimum. Imagine what the youths have to tell the president, that they have never seen it this way. Return us to the time of Jonathan. And don't forget that this same issue that they are discussing about Jonathan, that fairly recently, the Minister of Transportation came up to say that it is even Jonathan that kickstarted the issue of banditry, which was a big lie. Statistics are there to show. Today, the issue of insecurity is escalating. It's growing at, let me not put it, arithmetic progression is very small. It's growing at a geometrical progression. Everyone seems to be comfortable to be part of the bandits now. And they are troubling the country. I feel at this point, with the way things are going, the president needs to really sit down with all the relevant stakeholders and make decisive decisions and follow up to ensure that results are provable. We are tired of saying the entire meeting and say, we have done this. No. We want a situation whereby our roads can be comfortable enough for the people to drive. We want a situation whereby our forests can be comfortable such that people can go back to their farm. Things will begin to improve in the country. That's where Nigerians are really looking at. Return us back to the time of Jonathan. It is not what I will be prescribing, I know it was far better than now. But I think what the people are trying to say is that please improve the security status of this country once again. I like to leave it. Go to our comment section. Let's interact. What's your position?